Welcome, my friends. Today we gather around a sacred space, a space I like to call the winning table. Imagine a table where all your dreams, your desires, and your highest visions are placed before you. This is not just any table, but a table where we invite only the highest versions of ourselves. It's a table of possibilities, of abundance, and of deep healing. You deserve to be at the table of life, a table filled with opportunity, love, and abundance. This simple truth is one that many of us struggle to embrace. We've been conditioned by society, by our upbringing, and by past experiences to believe that we are somehow not worthy of the good things life has to offer. But the truth is that you are more than enough just as you are right now. You deserve to be at the table, and it's time to claim your place. For many of us, the belief that we don't deserve a seat at this table begins early. We might hear things like, "You're not good enough, you don't deserve that," or "Who do you think you are to want more?" These statements get embedded into our subconscious mind, and over time they shape how we see ourselves. We begin to feel like outsiders in our own lives, always waiting for permission to show up fully, always doubting if we're good enough. But here's what I want you to know: you don't need anyone's permission to claim your worth. You don't need to wait for someone to invite you to the table. You are already invited, simply because you exist. We are all born deserving. No baby enters this world thinking they don't deserve love, nourishment, and care. As children, we are curious, free, and bold in our exploration of the world. But as we grow, we begin to absorb the negative messages around us, and we start to shrink ourselves to fit the expectations of others. We become afraid to take up space, to speak our truth, and to ask for what we want, because deep down, we fear rejection or judgment. But this shrinking serves no one, least of all yourself. Think about the concept of a table, a place where people gather to share, connect, and nourish themselves. The winning table, the one I am talking about today, is a metaphor for life itself. It is where we show up to receive the blessings, opportunities, and experiences that are available to us. And just like any table, there is room for everyone. No one has to be left out. There is more than enough for all of us to share. But first, you must believe that you deserve to be there. One of the most important things to understand about worthiness is that it's not something you earn. You don't become worthy by achieving more, by being more successful, or by gaining the approval of others. Your worth is inherent. It's something you carry within you at all times, regardless of what you've done or what you have yet to do. Too often, we tie our sense of worth to external factors, our careers, relationships, appearance, or material possessions. But these things don't define who you are at the core. At the deepest level, your worth is unshakable simply because you are a part of this universe. If you are alive, you are worthy. If you are breathing, you deserve to be at the table. It's that simple. But because we've been taught to believe otherwise, it can take time to fully embrace this truth. You might find yourself thinking, but what about my mistakes? What about the things I've done wrong? Surely that means I don't deserve a place at the table. Here's what I want you to remember: we are all human, and making mistakes is part of the human experience. Your past does not define your future. Every day is a new opportunity to start fresh, to choose differently, and to love yourself more. One of the most powerful ways to claim your seat at the table is by practicing self-acceptance. Accept yourself exactly as you are, without judgment. This doesn't mean you won't grow or change. It simply means you love and honor yourself in the present moment. When you accept yourself, you stop waiting for others to validate your worth. You realize that you are whole and complete just as you are, and that nothing outside of you can determine your value. Self-acceptance also means letting go of the need to compare yourself to others. So many of us fall into the trap of comparison, constantly measuring our worth against other people's achievements, appearances, or lifestyles. But the truth is, comparison is the thief of joy. It blinds you to your own unique gifts and talents and makes you feel small in a world that is vast and abundant. When you stop comparing yourself to others, you free yourself to appreciate your own journey. You realize that you have your own path, and it is just as valid and important as anyone else's. To fully claim your place at the table, you must also be willing to release any lingering feelings of guilt or shame. These emotions are heavy and can block you from receiving the good that is meant for you. We all make mistakes, and we all have moments where we fall short of our own expectations. But holding on to guilt or shame keeps you stuck in the past and prevents you from moving forward. Forgive yourself. Release the past. Know that you are deserving of love, peace, and joy, no matter what has happened before. When you begin to see yourself as worthy, everything in your life begins to shift. You start to attract better relationships, greater opportunities, and more abundance. You walk through life with a sense of confidence and peace, knowing that you belong, that you matter, and that you deserve all the good things that life has to offer. The universe is always ready to give you what you desire, but first you must believe that you are worthy of receiving it. So, my dear friends, I invite you today to pull up a chair and take your seat at the winning table. You don't need to wait for anyone to give you permission. You are worthy, you are deserving, and you are enough right here, right now. Claim your place, because this table was made for you. The quality of our lives is deeply influenced by the quality of our thoughts. Every single thought we think is like a building block in the foundation of our reality. The table of life, the table where we gather all our experiences, joys, and challenges, is set by the thoughts we consistently hold in our minds. If we fill our minds with positive, empowering thoughts, we set the table for abundance, love, and peace. On the other hand, if we allow negative, fear-based thoughts to dominate, we set the table for lack, limitation, and struggle. Many of us live without realizing just how powerful our thoughts are. We go through the day on autopilot, reacting to situations without being mindful of the thoughts that are shaping our experience. But the truth is, our thoughts are energy. They carry a vibration, and that vibration attracts circumstances, people, and opportunities that match it. This is why it is so important to become aware of the thoughts we are feeding our minds. Just as we are careful about what we feed our bodies, we must also be mindful of what we feed our minds. The thoughts we entertain regularly are what set the table for our future. Imagine your mind as a garden. Every thought you think is like a seed that you plant in this garden. If you plant seeds of positivity, hope, and possibility, you will eventually see these qualities bloom in your life. However, if you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and worry, you will see these weeds take root, crowding out the flowers of joy and success. The mind, like a garden, does not discriminate. It will grow whatever you plant in it. This is why it is so important to plant the seeds of the life you want, rather than the life you fear. The first step in transforming your thoughts is awareness. Begin by paying attention to your internal dialogue. What are you telling yourself throughout the day? Are your thoughts filled with self-doubt, criticism, and fear? Or are you encouraging, loving, and supportive toward yourself? Many of us are far more critical of ourselves than we would ever be of anyone else. We hold ourselves to impossible standards and beat ourselves up when we fall short. But this kind of thinking only sets the table for more pain and disappointment. Instead, we must choose thoughts that uplift and empower us, thoughts that remind us of our worth and potential. One of the most powerful tools we can use to shift our thinking is affirmations. Affirmations are positive, present tense statements that help to reprogram the subconscious mind. When we repeat affirmations regularly, we begin to replace old, negative thought patterns with new, empowering ones. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough," you can replace that thought with an affirmation like, "I am worthy of love and success." Over time, as you continue to affirm positive beliefs, your subconscious mind begins to accept them as true, and you start to see changes in your life. It's important to remember that we are not our thoughts. Just because we think something does not mean it is true. Our thoughts are shaped by our past experiences, our upbringing, and the world around us, but we have the power to change them. We can choose which thoughts to entertain and which ones to let go. This is where mindfulness comes in. Mindfulness is the practice of observing your thoughts without judgment. It's about becoming the witness to your mind rather than being controlled by it. When you practice mindfulness, you create space between you and your thoughts, and in that space you have the power to choose. If you find yourself stuck in negative thinking, remember that you always have the power to change the narrative. Just because a negative thought appears does not mean you have to believe it or let it dictate your life. When a thought arises that doesn't serve you, take a deep breath and gently let it go. You can even say to yourself, "I release this thought, and I choose a new one then." Replace it with a positive, empowering thought that aligns with the life you want to create. For example, if you find yourself thinking, "I'll never be successful," you can choose to think, "I am capable, and success is within my reach." The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. At first, it might feel difficult to let go of old, ingrained thought patterns, but with time and persistence, you can train your mind to think in ways that support your highest good. Just like any other habit, changing your thinking takes practice, but the rewards are immense. When you begin to shift your thoughts, you will notice a shift in your energy, your mood, and ultimately your life. It's also important to surround yourself with positive influences. The people we spend time with and the environments we inhabit have a huge impact on our thoughts. If you are constantly around negativity, it will be harder to maintain positive thinking. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who uplift you, who believe in you, and who inspire you, it becomes much easier to hold on to empowering thoughts. Be mindful of the media you consume, the conversations you engage in, and the energy you allow into your life. These all play a role in shaping your thoughts and ultimately your experience. Another powerful practice for shifting your thinking is gratitude. Gratitude is one of the highest vibrational states we can be in, and it has the ability to transform even the most negative mindset. When you focus on what you are grateful for, you shift your attention away from lack and toward abundance. This simple shift in focus can completely change your experience of life. No matter what is going on, there is always something to be grateful for, whether it's your health, the people you love, or the beauty of nature around you. Gratitude helps to raise your vibration and sets the table for more blessings to flow into your life. At the end of the day, you are the one who decides what kind of life you want to create. Your thoughts are the starting point of everything. If you want to set the table for success, joy, and abundance, you must first fill your mind with thoughts that reflect these qualities. It all begins in the mind. The power to create the life you desire is within you, and it starts with the thoughts you choose to think. So today I invite you to take responsibility for your thoughts. Set the table for the life you want to live, and watch as the universe responds in kind. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful acts of healing we can offer ourselves. It is an invitation to free ourselves from the past, to let go of the burdens we've been carrying, and to step into a life of peace, love, and possibility. Many people misunderstand forgiveness, thinking that it is about excusing or condoning the actions of others. But forgiveness is not about the other person, it is about you. It is about releasing the emotional weight that is holding you back, so you can move forward with an open heart and a clear mind. When we hold on to resentment, anger, or pain, it is as though we are shackled to the past. Every hurt, every grievance becomes a chain that ties us to a moment in time that we cannot change. We replay the events over and over and over in our minds, keeping the wounds fresh and preventing ourselves from healing. But the truth is, holding on to this pain does not punish the other person, it only punishes us. It keeps us stuck in a cycle of suffering, unable to fully experience the joy and abundance that life has to offer. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks those chains and sets us free. We all have stories of being hurt or wronged by others. Whether it's a betrayal, an injustice, or a painful experience from childhood, these wounds can leave lasting scars on our hearts. And it's natural to feel anger or sadness in response to these experiences. But the problem arises when we hold on to that pain for too long. When we refuse to forgive, we allow the past to have power over us. We give our energy to the very thing that hurt us, allowing it to define our present and shape our future. Forgiveness is not about denying your feelings or pretending that the hurt didn't happen. It's about acknowledging the pain, honoring it, and then making a conscious choice to let it go. You are not condoning the behavior or saying that it was okay. You are simply choosing not to let it control your life anymore. When you forgive, you reclaim your power. You take back the energy that was tied up in resentment and anger and redirect it toward your own healing and growth. One of the hardest people to forgive is often ourselves. We can be our own harshest critics, holding on to guilt, shame, or regret for things we did or didn't do in the past. Maybe you made a mistake, said something you regret, or failed to live up to your own expectations. These moments of self-judgment can weigh heavily on us, leading to feelings of unworthiness or self-sabotage. But just as we extend forgiveness to others, we must learn to extend it to ourselves. You are human, and being human means making mistakes. It means sometimes falling short, sometimes hurting others or ourselves unintentionally. But you are not defined by your mistakes. You are defined by how you rise from them, how you learn, grow, and move forward. Forgiveness allows you to release the burden of perfection and embrace your humanity. When you forgive yourself, you open the door to self-compassion, and with self-compassion comes the ability to heal and grow into a better version of yourself. The process of forgiveness can be challenging, especially if the hurt runs deep. It may take time, and that's okay. Forgiveness is not always something that happens overnight. It is a journey, and sometimes it requires patience and perseverance. But each step you take toward forgiveness is a step toward your own freedom. You might start by simply being open to the idea of forgiveness, even if you're not ready to fully let go yet. By setting the intention to forgive, you begin to shift your energy in a positive direction. One of the most effective ways to begin the process of forgiveness is through compassion. When we hold on to anger or resentment, it is often because we see the person who hurt us as separate from ourselves. We focus on their actions, on the harm they cause, and we lose sight of their humanity. But when we practice compassion, we begin to see that we are all connected, that we are all capable of making mistakes. Compassion doesn't excuse the behavior, but it helps us understand that everyone is doing the best they can with the knowledge and awareness they have at the time. This is not to say that everyone's actions are justified, but rather that we can soften our hearts by recognizing that hurt people often hurt others. When we remember this, it becomes easier to release the anger we are holding on to. Compassion helps us to see the bigger picture, to understand that the person who hurt us was acting from their own pain, ignorance, or limitations. Again, this does not excuse the behavior, but it allows us to release the grip of anger and move toward forgiveness. Forgiveness is also about reclaiming your peace. When you forgive, you are no longer allowing the actions of others to disturb your inner world. You are choosing peace over conflict, love over hate, and freedom over bondage. This doesn't mean you have to maintain a relationship with the person who hurt you. In fact, sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is create boundaries and distance. But forgiveness is about releasing the emotional charge so that you can move forward with clarity and grace. Holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. It only harms you, but when you forgive, you are no longer drinking from that cup. You are choosing to nourish your soul with love, with peace, and with the understanding that you deserve to live free from the burdens of the past. Forgiveness invites more love into your life. It creates space for joy, for abundance, and for the relationships that truly serve your highest good. When you hold on to resentment, you block the flow of love and abundance. But when you forgive, you open your heart, and that openness allows blessings to flow into your life. It's as though forgiveness clears the path for all the good things that have been waiting for you. Ultimately, forgiveness is an act of self-love. It is a gift you give to yourself, not to the person who hurt you. It is an invitation to step into a new chapter of your life, one that is free from the weight of the past. When you forgive, you free yourself to live fully in the present, to create the life you desire, and to experience the peace that comes from letting go. So take a deep breath and ask yourself, who do I need to forgive? Maybe it's someone from your past, or maybe it's yourself. Whoever it is, remember that forgiveness is not about them, it's about you. It's about freeing yourself from the chains of resentment and opening your heart to the infinite possibilities that await you. Forgiveness is your invitation to peace, love, and freedom. Accept it and step into the life you deserve. Loving yourself unconditionally is one of the most transformative acts you can engage in. It is the foundation for a life filled with joy, abundance, and inner peace. Yet for many of us, self-love is one of the hardest things to practice. We live in a world that constantly tells us we're not enough, that we need to be thinner, richer, more successful, or more attractive in order to be worthy of love. But true self-love has nothing to do with the external and everything to do with accepting yourself just as you are in every moment without judgment or condition. Unconditional self-love means loving yourself not just when things are going well, not just when you're succeeding, but also when you're struggling, when you've made mistakes, and when you feel vulnerable or imperfect. It is about embracing every part of yourself, even the parts you might wish were different. It's easy to love yourself when life is flowing smoothly. But the real power of self-love comes when you can offer that same love and compassion to yourself during difficult times. Too often we set conditions for our self-love. We tell ourselves that we'll love ourselves when we reach a certain goal, when we lose weight, when we get the promotion, or when we find the perfect partner. But these conditions keep us in a state of waiting, always delaying the love and acceptance we so deeply need. What we often don't realize is that it is the absence of self-love that blocks us from achieving those very goals. When you love yourself unconditionally, you create a strong foundation that allows you to manifest your desires from a place of wholeness rather than lack. The journey to unconditional self-love begins with self-acceptance. Acceptance means acknowledging yourself exactly as you are without trying to change or fix anything. It's about recognizing that you are enough right now in this very moment. This can be challenging, especially if you've spent years being your own harshest critic. Many of us carry deeply ingrained beliefs about our inadequacy, beliefs that were formed in childhood, shaped by societal expectations or influenced by past traumas. But no matter where these beliefs come from, they are not the truth of who you are. The truth is that you are worthy of love simply because you exist. One of the greatest barriers to self-love is the voice of self-criticism. This is the voice that tells you that you're not good enough, that you'll never succeed, or that you don't deserve happiness. It's the voice that judges you for your mistakes and constantly compares you to others. But this critical voice is not your true self. It is the voice of fear, the voice of the ego. It tries to protect you by keeping you small, by convincing you that you need to change in order to be lovable. But the reality is that love has no conditions. True love, whether it is directed at yourself or others, is not earned through perfection or achievement. It is given freely, without judgment. To begin silencing the voice of self-criticism, you must cultivate self-compassion. Self-compassion is the practice of treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a dear friend. When you make a mistake, instead of berating yourself, you can say, "It's okay, I'm human, and I'm learning." When you're feeling down or insecure, instead of criticizing yourself, you can say, "I'm doing the best I can, and that's enough." Self-compassion allows you to approach yourself with gentleness rather than harshness, and it opens the door to deeper self-love. Another important aspect of unconditional self-love is letting go of the need for external validation. So often we look to others to tell us we're good enough. We seek approval from family, friends, partners, or society at large. But this external validation is fleeting and unreliable. What happens when the praise stops or when someone doesn't approve of you? If your sense of self-worth is dependent on the opinions of others, you will constantly be chasing after something outside of yourself, and your self-love will always be conditional. True self-love comes from within. It is a deep knowing that you are valuable and worthy regardless of what anyone else thinks. Part of loving yourself unconditionally is also taking care of yourself. This means honoring your physical, emotional, and spiritual needs. It's about listening to your body when it needs rest, nourishing yourself with healthy food, and making time for self-care. It's about setting boundaries and saying no when something doesn't feel right for you without feeling guilty. When you love yourself unconditionally, you prioritize your well-being because you know that you deserve to feel good. Self-care is not selfish. It is a necessary part of maintaining a healthy relationship with yourself. Forgiveness is another essential element of self-love. We all make mistakes, and we all have moments where we fall short of our own expectations. But holding on to guilt or shame only keeps us stuck in the past and prevents us from moving forward. To love yourself unconditionally, you must be willing to forgive yourself for your past mistakes, to release the burden of regret, and to trust that you are always doing the best you can with the awareness you have at the time. When you forgive yourself, you free yourself from the weight of the past and open the door to greater self-compassion and growth. Finally, loving yourself unconditionally means celebrating yourself. It means acknowledging your accomplishments, no matter how small, and recognizing your inherent goodness. Too often we downplay our successes or brush off compliments because we don't feel we deserve them. But you do deserve them. You deserve to celebrate the wonderful, unique person that you are. You don't need to wait until you've achieved some arbitrary goal to celebrate yourself. You can do it right now, in this very moment. Unconditional self-love is not about being perfect. It's about embracing your imperfections and loving yourself through them. It's about understanding that you are worthy of love, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. When you love yourself unconditionally, you give yourself permission to live authentically, to pursue your dreams, and to experience life fully. You stop waiting for someone else to give you love, and you realize that the love you've been seeking has been within you all along. So today I invite you to begin the journey of loving yourself unconditionally. It may not happen overnight, and that's okay. The important thing is that you start. Be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself, and remember that you are deserving of love exactly as you are. You are enough, you are worthy, and you are deserving of all the love and joy this life has to offer. Life is full of challenges, but what we often forget is that these challenges are not obstacles to success. They are the very ingredients that help us achieve it. Every difficulty, setback, and struggle we face has the potential to shape us, teach us, and ultimately propel us forward on our path to success. It is through overcoming challenges that we grow stronger, more resilient, and more capable of achieving our goals. When we learn to see challenges not as barriers, but as opportunities for growth, we unlock the true potential within ourselves. Challenges are inevitable. No one goes through life without facing difficulties. Whether it's a financial hardship, a personal loss, a health issue, or a relationship breakdown, challenges come in many forms. And while it's natural to feel overwhelmed or discouraged in the face of these struggles, it's important to remember that every challenge contains a lesson, a hidden gift that can help us become the person we are meant to be. Instead of resisting challenges or wishing they would go away, we must learn to embrace them as part of our journey toward success. One of the most important lessons challenges teach us is resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, to keep going even when things get tough. When we face a challenge, we have two choices. We can let it defeat us, or we can use it as an opportunity to strengthen our resolve and keep moving forward. Every time we choose the latter, we build our resilience. And resilience is one of the key ingredients for success, because life is rarely a straight path. There will always be twists, turns, and unexpected obstacles along the way. Those who succeed are not the ones who never face challenges, but the ones who refuse to give up in the face of them. Challenges also force us to step out of our comfort zones. Growth rarely happens when we stay in the familiar, safe areas of life. It happens when we are pushed to stretch beyond what we thought was possible. When we face challenges, we are often required to develop new skills, adopt new perspectives, or find creative solutions to problems. This process of adaptation is what leads to personal growth. Every time we rise to meet a challenge, we expand our capacity to handle more, to do more, and to be more. In this way, challenges are not just obstacles to be overcome, they are opportunities to evolve into the best version of ourselves. Another key lesson that challenges teach us is patience. In our fast-paced world, we often want instant results. We want success to come easily and quickly. But real success takes time. It requires persistence, dedication, and a willingness to endure setbacks along the way. Challenges test our patience. They teach us that the road to success is not always a smooth one, but that with time and perseverance we can overcome even the most difficult obstacles. Learning to be patient with ourselves and with the process is a crucial part of achieving long-term success. One of the most powerful shifts we can make in our mindset is to see challenges as opportunities rather than as problems. When we face a challenge, it's easy to get caught up in feelings of frustration or defeat. We might think, why is this happening to me, or this is too hard? But if we can reframe the situation and ask ourselves, what is this challenge here to teach me, or how can I grow from this experience? We begin to see challenges in a new light. Instead of being something to fear or avoid, challenges become stepping stones on our path to success. Take a moment to think about the people you admire, those who have achieved great success in their lives. Whether they are entrepreneurs, artists, athletes, or leaders, chances are their journey to success was not an easy one. Behind every success story is a series of challenges that had to be overcome. It's easy to look at someone's achievements and assume they got there without struggle. But the truth is that success is often born from hardship. It is through navigating challenges that we gain the strength, wisdom, and experience necessary to achieve our goals. One of the gifts of challenges is that they reveal our true potential. When everything is going smoothly, we often stay within the confines of what we already know and what feels comfortable. But when we face a challenge, we are forced to dig deeper, to tap into strengths and abilities we may not have realized we had. It is in these moments of difficulty that we discover what we are truly capable of. Often we emerge from challenges with a greater sense of confidence and a deeper understanding of ourselves. Challenges also teach us the importance of perseverance. Success is rarely achieved overnight. It often requires years of hard work, persistence, and a willingness to keep going even when the going gets tough. Challenges test our commitment to our goals. They force us to ask ourselves, how badly do I want this, and am I willing to keep trying? Even when it feels difficult, those who are willing to persevere, even in the face of setbacks, are the ones who ultimately achieve their dreams. Another powerful lesson that challenges offer is the ability to shift our perspective. When we face adversity, we are often given the opportunity to see things from a new angle. A challenge might force us to question our assumptions, to reevaluate our priorities, or to think outside the box. This shift in perspective can lead to new insights and breakthroughs that we might not have discovered otherwise. In this way, challenges can be catalysts for innovation and creativity, pushing us to explore new possibilities and solutions. In addition to personal growth, challenges also foster empathy and compassion. When we go through difficult times, we gain a deeper understanding of what others might be experiencing. This shared experience of struggle allows us to connect with others on a deeper level and to offer support and encouragement to those who are facing similar challenges. In this way, challenges not only contribute to our own success, but also allow us to uplift and inspire those around us. Ultimately, your challenges are not something to be feared or avoided. They are the very ingredients that will lead you to success. Each challenge you face is an opportunity for growth, resilience, and self-discovery. By embracing your challenges rather than resisting them, you allow yourself to step into your full potential. You become stronger, wiser, and more capable of achieving your goals. So the next time you are faced with a challenge, remember that it is not a roadblock, but a stepping stone on your journey to success. Trust that you have everything within you to overcome it, and that each challenge is helping you create the life you were meant to live. Gratitude is a transformative energy that can shift your entire perspective on life. It is often said that what we focus on expands, and when we focus on gratitude, we open the door to more joy, abundance, and fulfillment. Gratitude is not just a fleeting feeling, it is a way of being, a mindset that allows us to see the richness of life in every moment. When we practice gratitude, we are essentially inviting more of the good into our lives, and that good becomes the feast that nourishes our soul. At its core, gratitude is about appreciating what we have right now, in this very moment. It's about shifting our focus away from what's lacking, what's missing, or what we want in the future, and instead directing our attention to the blessings that already surround us. It can be easy to overlook the simple, everyday gifts that life offers: the warmth of the sun, the laughter of a friend, the comfort of a home. But when we make the conscious choice to notice and appreciate these things, we begin to cultivate a sense of contentment and inner peace. Gratitude is the recognition that life is already abundant, even when it doesn't always feel that way. One of the most profound aspects of gratitude is that it changes our relationship with life's challenges. Difficulties are an inevitable part of the human experience, but gratitude allows us to see the hidden blessings in even the toughest situations. It doesn't mean that we deny the pain or discomfort that comes with challenges, but it does mean that we choose to look for the growth, the lessons, and the opportunities that challenges present. When we can find something to be grateful for in a difficult moment, whether it's the strength we're building, the wisdom we're gaining, or the support we're receiving from others, we begin to transform our challenges into stepping stones for personal growth and success. Gratitude also has the power to shift us from a state of lack to a state of abundance. Many of us go through life feeling like we don't have enough, whether it's not enough money, not enough time, or not enough love. This scarcity mindset can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction, anxiety, and even fear. But when we practice gratitude, we start to see that we already have enough. We realize that we are already rich in so many ways, and this realization shifts our energy from a place of wanting to a place of receiving. Gratitude opens the floodgates for more abundance to flow into our lives. Because we are no longer focused on what's missing, we are focused on the fullness of what we already have. The practice of gratitude is also deeply nourishing for our relationships. When we express appreciation for the people in our lives, we strengthen our connections and deepen our bonds. Think about how you feel when someone genuinely thanks you for something you've done, or when they express their gratitude for simply being in your life. It feels good, doesn't it? Gratitude creates a positive feedback loop. When we express appreciation, we make others feel good, and in turn, we feel good too. The simple act of acknowledging and appreciating the people around us can transform our relationships and create an atmosphere of love, respect, and kindness. Gratitude doesn't just benefit our emotional well-being, it also has a profound impact on our physical health. Studies have shown that people who practice gratitude regularly experience lower levels of stress, better sleep, and even improved immune function. When we are in a state of gratitude, our bodies release feel-good hormones like dopamine and serotonin, which promote feelings of happiness and well-being. Gratitude also reduces the production of stress hormones like cortisol, which means that practicing gratitude can actually help us manage stress and reduce anxiety. In this way, gratitude is not just a mental or emotional practice, it's a holistic one that benefits our entire being. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate gratitude is through daily practice. It doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming. Just a few moments each day can make a world of difference. You might start by keeping a gratitude journal where you write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. These can be big or small, from a kind gesture from a friend to the beauty of a sunset. The key is consistency. By making gratitude a regular part of your routine, you train your brain to look for the good in every situation, and over time, this becomes your default way of thinking. Another way to deepen your gratitude practice is through mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment without judgment or distraction. When we are mindful, we become more aware of the beauty and richness of life as it unfolds. We notice the details we might have otherwise missed: the feel of the breeze on our skin, the sound of birds chirping, the taste of a delicious meal. Gratitude naturally arises from this state of awareness because we are fully experiencing the gifts of the present moment. When we are mindful, we realize that there is always something to be grateful for, no matter what else is happening in our lives. Gratitude also invites us to give back. When we feel blessed by life, we naturally want to share those blessings with others. This could mean volunteering our time, offering a helping hand to someone in need, or simply being kind and supportive to the people around us. Gratitude opens our hearts and makes us more compassionate, because we recognize that we are all connected and that life is better when we support and uplift each other. By giving from a place of gratitude, we not only enrich the lives of others, but we also deepen our own sense of fulfillment and purpose. One of the beautiful things about gratitude is that it multiplies. The more we focus on what we're grateful for, the more things we find to be grateful for. It's as if the universe responds to our gratitude by sending us even more reasons to feel grateful. This is the power of gratitude. It creates a positive cycle of abundance and joy. When we choose to see life through the lens of gratitude, we become magnets for all the good things that life has to offer. We start to attract more opportunities, more love, and more happiness simply by being in a state of appreciation for what we already have. In essence, gratitude is your feast. It is the nourishment that sustains you, the abundance that fills your life with meaning and joy. When you make gratitude a central part of your life, you begin to see that you are already rich beyond measure. You realize that life is not about what you lack, but about what you already have, and when you focus on that, everything else begins to fall into place. Gratitude is the key to unlocking the fullness of life, and when you embrace it fully, you create a life that is overflowing with blessings. So sit down at the table of gratitude and feast on the abundance that surrounds you. Life is offering you a banquet. Will you partake?